Okay, hello. So, you know that we have a number of requests that ask us, like, please provide us instructions on details on how to try KubeRocket CI or EDP actually on your local machine using, for example, Kind or Minikube or any such solutions which allows you to run Kubernetes cluster locally. And today I'm going to demonstrate on how to run KubeRocket CI inside the Kind cluster, and at the same time we will try to configure access to GitHub Container Registry, which is not supported today for this current version of KubeRocket CI, but we will implement it in the next release. Okay, so let's start. First of all, we need to our terminal. Let me increase the size of font so you can see all my commands I'm going to run here. So essentially, from what we're going to start is, first of all, we need to create a Kind cluster. So this is my baseline configuration. I will share this, but essentially we're going to use this version of Kubernetes and nothing more in additional configurations. So let's create this cluster. While the cluster is creating, all my today's discussion is based on our quick start guide actually, and you can try to follow it because it is already tune checked and you can use it for your deployments as well. So first of all, when your cluster is up and running, we need to install a dependency. Yeah, in our case, this is a Tekton stack, which is our workflow engine. So as soon as the cluster will be ready, I'm going to install it first. Okay. The second step is just to add our Helm repository and then install the required version. Okay, cluster is ready. Let's install dependencies. So we need also to wait a little bit because KubeRocket CI creates pipelines, and validation webhook of Tekton should be ready to validate our payload. So let's try to check the pod statuses. Actually, Tekton stack is ready, and we can proceed with EDP installation. So again, let's just copy paste and run this command. Then we need to install EDP. I already have something prepared before, and I will explain it what we have here. So let's use the latest version. Let's install everything in EDP namespace. We don't care about DNS since, again, this is a local deployment that we just need to play a little bit with it. And the last one is we're going to work with the GitHub because I want also to use pipelines that align to GitHub, and I also want to later integrate GitHub Container Registry. So let's run this command. It should take like 30 seconds or so, and we can continue or proceed with the next steps. So everything is here. Let's try to check whether pods are ready. So it's still creating. What we have here is the CD pipeline operator, which is responsible for managing CD pipelines, Codebase to onboard all your code bases. Cache actually is to speed up our pipelines. I will skip this cache stuff during today's demo. Portal is actually our UI based on EDP headlamp. And yeah, Tekton dashboards and interceptor, we need them for working with the payloads. But since today we're going to demonstrate only how to work locally, so no payloads will be required for today's demo. Okay, now everything is up and running. Let's proceed to the next step of our demo. So let's probably switch to our new namespace, and then we need actually to run and have access to our portal. Sorry, here should be a portal service. We just renamed it not so long ago. Okay, so we've started our portal. For the next couple of minutes or 10 minutes we don't need this anymore, but let's open our UI. So okay, we need to generate an ID token. So you can continue follow our documentation and copy paste this stuff and put it here. Then you can just get this token and provide it here. So now you're authenticated, and you need to ensure, for example, that you have in your cluster settings EDP in default namespaces and allowed namespaces EDP as well, since everything is installed in the same EDP repository. Okay, now we're here. So what we need to do first of all is just to check our configuration settings. Since today we're not going to concentrate on any quality of code, security issues, or anything else, let's concentrate on first on artifact storages. So we will configure registry today, and first of all we need to configure our GitHub to work with the KubeRocket CI. So let's call it like GitHub. Let's put here github.com. Let's select GitHub. So we need to populate our credentials here. So let's follow this documentation. So the next step, again, SonarQube we are going to skip. So GitHub. So let's start with the creating. I'm going to do this in this folder, and let's generate the private key. Again, I'm going to use this folder as a target one and put it here and here. And now we have two keys here, like public and private part. So private part I'm going to put inside the platform configuration, but the public one is going to be deployed to GitHub site. So I'm going to copy paste to go to my configuration and add new keys actually. So as soon as the key is added, we can continue our configuration and management. So let me check. I need access to my GitHub first, and to put the public part inside the configuration section. Okay, I uploaded the key on the GitHub. So now we need to generate an access token. So let's go to configuration section. Let's go to settings. We need developer settings for our specific case. We need to generate the classic token. So that was I used yesterday. I can revoke this. Now let's generate a new classic token. Let's do some magic with signing in. Okay. Now we need to check the documentation, which permissions we need to set for our token. And this is really important to set exactly what you've seen on our documentation. Otherwise, some features might not work. So we need to provide access to repo. We need to do stuff with webhooks. Yeah, so we need to set this as well, since our Codebase operator do all the stuff like onboarding your Codebase in your GitHub account, and also setting up webhooks to the proper URL. Okay, then we need to admin org read org, and we also need to define user email. So then we can generate the token. Just put the name of this token, okay, and generate it. So I'm going to copy paste and use it for here. And I also already prepared our private key. I'm going to use it here as well. I will revoke these keys definitely after the demo, but for now it's okay. So let's put it here and save. We need a little bit wait, since we have a reconciliation cycle for our for this resource, and as soon as our operator will check that the credentials are valid, we can just proceed with the next steps. Usually it might take up to 30 seconds or so let's wait a little bit. And then we will switch to configuration of our artifact storage. So what you see here is that it is connected, no issues with our GitHub credentials. Now let's switch to artifact storage. As I mentioned before, since Google GitHub Container Registry is not supported out of the box, we will use Docker Hub, but we'll later just update our secrets to ensure they works properly. So first of all, let's use our registry space. In our case, this is our GitHub account. I'm going to use my personal one. Then I need to define the same user here, and I will put the same token as we have previously injected for our case. So let's go and put this token here as well. We can reuse the same approach for push-pull stuff, but let's start with this one. So we have an issue like here. There is an authorization error, and actually this is what we are going to be addressed in our next release. But for now we can skip this, and then let's continue to the next steps of what should be done. So we can skip error for now. So first of all, let's go and check what else we need to do. Is actually I've provided on these thread in our EDP install documentation. I will go at the end of this configuration. Here how it should look like. You just seen like this stuff, and now what we need is to update two entities. The first one is our config map, which is edit config map EDP config, and we need to put here like not Docker IO but just 1 second, I will check how it should like. It should be GHCR IO, and the rest we can preserve as it is. And the next step is just to update our secret. Actually, what we need to replace Docker Hub IO with the values or with these values like GCR IO. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me check this one and go to our kind cluster, and let's check the secret, which is called Conico Docker. What I need is just to remove this stuff and put here GCRIO and save it. So when now everything is here, we can try to onboard our code base and try to build and push image. We're going to face with another one issue, but let's start with the first one. So we're going to create demo app. Let's call it demo app as well. Let's put here the path to our repository, and let's push the apply button. So what is actually currently happening? Our Codebase operator tries to onboard this repository, and as soon as we'll be ready, we can work with this. Okay, this is actually the expected stuff. Yeah, as you remember, we deployed everything inside the kind cluster, and actually we didn't configure ingress at all. and just to have a workaround or possibility just to try EDP or KubeRocket CI locally, we need to provide either deploy ingress to be able by our Codebase operator to get the values for webhook URL, or we can go to our EDP Tekton repository, and in our Tekton repository there is in our charts there is specific value which you can use, webhook URL, which you can use during the installation process. Here it is, and we can use for example go to the next section and to check it how it looks like. So we can put this one. To define these values, actually we need to update our Git server, and this information is also available Codebase EDP Codebase operator. Let me check it. Okay, let me check it once again. So let's go to deploy templates, let's check values and check GitServer configuration stuff. So CRD and check GitServer, and here is webhook URL. Here it is. So we can define it explicitly in our configuration, yeah. And let's do this. So we need edit our Git server GitHub, and let's put this information here, and here should be webhook URL, and we can actually point to whatever we want, because we're not going to work in this way. Okay, I just put something wrong. Webhook or sorry, I have typo here. Yeah, webhook URL, and let's save it. So now it is ready. We can actually return back to our UI part. We can restart actually Codebase operator to restart the reconciliation cycle, or we can wait a little bit for the next reconciliation section. Yeah, so we can also do some changes in our code base as well. For example, to trigger this reconciliation for us. Let's probably change something here. For example, we can update the description. Yeah, so description, EPM demo, our test, and let's save it. So Codebase operator find the changes. Now he was able to find the proper URL for our webhook. Actually, we can go to this application, we can go to GitHub, and to see our application is here. We can also check that the webhook is configured specifically with the URL we've defined. Definitely it doesn't work for this case, but this is an approach on how the Codebase operator works under the hood. So what do we have here is that we have the main branch. Let's trigger the pipeline, which is going to just build this application and push our application to our target repository. So we need to wait a little bit. Okay, this requires like our Tekton. What we can do, we can just check the logs here, and as soon as our application will be built, we can use it as well. So let's get get services, because here is the Tekton dashboard, and we can actually forward the port of Tekton dashboard as well. Forward. So what we need, for example, we need port 8080, and this is going to be service Tekton dashboard. So let's try to open it in the next window. Again, this is how KubeRocket CI works without like ingress stuff, if you want just to try something locally. So this is our pipeline, it is up and running. We need to wait a little bit actually for those steps. In our case, the sonar step will fail definitely, because we don't have sonar at our disposal, because we just disable it. So I will just show you a few tricks how we can align with the pipelines, how we can update them to enable, for example, only build and push stuff for these guys. So first of all, what we need is that we're using pipeline run, which is based actually on this configuration, and we can actually open a new terminal. Let's do it this way. Let's return here first, and now let's edit. We need to edit pipeline, and with this name. So what we want to do with this pipeline is we want to find a sonar, and for example we want to disable it. Yeah, so let's me check. So we need to do this before the canonical. Yeah, so it's like approximately, let's do the same stuff. 5dd, no, it's going to be 5dd, and it's going to be next 5dd, and let's just leave this one. Okay, and now okay, this one. So now it looks like what we need. So what do we have here? We have build, and then we have Kanika build. Okay, great. Let's also check. Maybe there are some sonar dependencies. Yeah, we have it here. So we definitely need to remove it here as well. So there is no sonar here at all. And actually we can save the pipeline. Okay, I have some issues. Let me check once again. Sonar, let's do 10dd, and then 5dd, and then this one and this one. And now let's move this sonar. Okay, let's save. Now everything is okay. So we just remove the sonar step from our pipeline because it might fail. Yeah, so what is currently happening is actually we are pulling, let me check pods. So we're just pulling this stuff. Yeah, so we need to wait a little while those images on which our steps pulled from the Docker hub. So this might require some time. Definitely you can like upload these images beforehand with your kind load command or whatever, but in our case let's just wait a little and then return back to our pipeline. I'm expecting that this pipeline is going to fail, yeah, because Sonar is not configured, and we will see this issue. And what else? And maybe we will check whether we have Kanika issues with the current configurations. What we can see for sure is that like build pipeline was successfully, build step was successfully performed. Actually, we can also disable security pipeline. Let's do the same stuff just to speed up everything much faster. So we need security, find it. So we don't need security, and this is approximately like, okay, it's like 10dd. We can remove stuff, and then 5dd, and then this one and this one. Then we need to check whether security dependency anywhere else. No. Okay, it seems I have again some issues. Let's check security, and then 12dd, and then dt. No, and let's save it. Okay, now we removed also security and sonar stuff. So I believe to speed up the little bit things more, we can just stop this pipeline for sure, and then retrigger it from here. So rerun pipeline, and as you can see, it doesn't contain security and sonar anymore. So we're just only relying on things like building stuff and then pushing them to our registry. By the way, we can check the details. What is going to be happen here is we have like context, we have our Docker file inside the repository, and this is what we are going to perform. We're just going to push all like container registry space. And as you remember, we just before we've updated our configuration file config map. This is why we did this, because you see that the value for the registry is actually injected from this configuration map. That's why we just put it here like GCR IO, and then Codebase name and tag. So this is how it looks like. Let me wait some time and then we just debug the stuff. I mean, it should work. If we will faced with some issues, then we definitely can update it and probably have working solution for our colleagues. So let's wait a little bit. Let's wait. Okay, Kaneko image is in progress, so we can see that. Yeah, okay. So this is not ECR registry, and yeah, we have failed. Let me check what is the issue. So what we are trying to do is just to upload this stuff here. So token provided doesn't match the expected scopes. I believe this is because in this configuration of this token, it should be like extended to be able to push our container to the registry. So let me check what is the permissions. What are the minimal permissions required to enable pushing? Right, we have a write packages, and maybe we need. Okay, let's try to with the write packages. So we updated the token. We can go actually here and then just rerun this pipeline. If we don't need the previous one, we can just simply remove them. So we just extended the context. Yeah, so we can also check if it will not work, then we just go to the documentation and check what permissions are the minimum for be able to push the stuff inside the GitHub Container Registry. You see that the next steps runs much faster, because first of all we have cache. Second one, we have all the images already uploaded inside the cluster. Okay, now we can see that everything is up and running. Let's wait, because at least it is just pulling images, and then let's try to push them. Okay, the image was successfully pushed. Now let's return back to our repository. So this is our demo application. What we have here is just settings, insights, security stuff. Let me check what we have. We can see that no new branches we've created, but at least a new tag was just published. Yeah, because our pipeline is just performing this stuff for you. Just ensure that you're working with proper artifacts. So as you can see, the package was successfully pushed. You can check the path to this package, and it is here like GCR search demo blah blah blah, etc, etc. So actually we can go and to check the packages site, and we can see that the package is here. It was just pushed 1 minute ago. So this is how actually you can use our solution and to try it locally. Yeah, so definitely there are no events, since we just mock everything and we just check the pipeline. You can also got acquainted like how to do the stuff with the pipelines, etc, etc. So if you have more questions, don't hesitate to contact us and we will provide you the required details. Thank you very much and see you later.